Hello everyone, Nev here, and today I am going to be doing the decks and information about the Irish god on Dagda. So I am going to lay down just a backdrop. So I don't have a fancy mat, reading cloth, altar cloth, etc. for on Dagda yet. It's something I'm planning on making eventually. I just haven't really gotten to it yet. So I'm just going to grab this really pretty brown fabric here, and it's like minky fabric, and it's kind of has this paisley design on it. But I am going to lay this here in the background, and this will be the backdrop for on Dagda. Okay, so we got that here, and now I'm going to place the brown candle that I have for on Dagda. I'm going to put that here. I also have this kind of cauldron incense holder thing. And the incense I have in here is just a general money draw incense, but I'm going to put that right here. Another good incense would be like frankincense. That is one that is often associated with on Dagda. Now I do also have just some salt, and this is, it says the incorrect spelling, but this is Bieltana blessings, and it's just the salt that I use. I have this little Totoro shot glass here, and this is my offering glass. Ooh, it looks like it's coming up a little bit here, but this is my offering glass for on Dagda, and I usually put like beer or whiskey in here. So I might grab some whiskey because I don't have beer right now, and I might put a little bit of whiskey in there. I also have this blue cauldron right here, and a lot of times I will, incense ash goes in here, other things, like it's just it's where I burn stuff, so sometimes the incense thing will go in there, if I have an incense cone, or the rope incense, sometimes that'll go in there as well. Yeah, so that'll go here. There we go. I don't think I really put candles in here. No, I don't really burn candles in there, but there we go. All right. So I also have, this is my oak wand that I frequently have on either Bridget's altar or on Dagda's. So it kind of goes back and forth. So I am going to place that right here at the bottom and there, and I think that's pretty good. And we can leave the center for some of the tarot cards and oracle cards and things like that we're going to look at. Oh, and I almost forgot about this, but I also have some blue stones. I often like blue stones with on Dagda, and that's my own personal thing here, not part of any sort of lore or anything, but I tend to like blue calcite and lapis lazuli and just blue stones in general. So there we go. All right, so this video is going to be a little bit of a mix of information on Dagda. Some of it's going to be information based on lore and established sort of lore and practice and things like that. And it's also going to be a little bit of a mix of my own personal practice, my own UPG, that sort of stuff, as well as looking through decks and things like that I might associate with on Dagda. So this is the third of these videos I've done. The first video I did was a Dex 4 on Morrigan, and that was done during Samhain, and or right around Samhain, and please go check that out. I am very happy about that video. Very proud of it. But it didn't get very many views, but it's one of those things. It's like, I'm talking about my practice here, so a lot of times that's not the stuff that gets the views, but yeah, so I did a video on Morrigan last year around Samhain time, and then I did the second video, which was for Bridget, right around Imbolc. So please go check that one out too. Dex for Dex for Bridget. And now I'm doing on Dagda, and then I will do another video, a fourth video, around August time, and it will be, or the end of July, and it will be for Lou. All right, so on Dagda. The name on Dagda, I might put it on screen in the middle here. The on part right there is Irish, and it is the definite article, so it means the. So on means the. And Dagda kind of means, it basically means the good God. And a lot of times people may think that means like, oh, he's a good as in morally good. And that's not exactly what that means. It basically means he's good at everything. So he's good at everything. That's really what that's alluding to. Now, some of the other names for him include the term Allaher, which a lot of times people sort of mistranslate to sort of mean the All Father, just like I believe it's Odin, right? In Norse mythology, is often called the All Father. That's not the case here with Ondagda. All in this case, because Ahur means father, but all in this case actually means like great or vast. And that's kind of where that mix-up is. And it's sort of, it sounds like the English all, A-L-L, but no, it means like great, big, vast, and that's sort of alluding to Ondagda's great size. Right, and at least one instance in lore, Ondagda is referred to as Dagda Don. Now this could, Don in Irish means brown, so this could be saying the brown Dagda. And that is a certain possibility. But Don is also the name of another Irish god, and this other Irish god is kind of a god of the dead, or often associated with transitioning from life to death. So in this sense, Ondagda may also be kind of associated with Don and maybe an ancestral god of the dead. So that is one other possibility with Ondagda. But, that also sort of brings us to some of the colors that are associated with Ondagda. Now, because of the Dagda Don and other indications, brown is a color that is often associated with Ondagda, and that is why I chose this brown background here. And I'll probably do some sort of, I might even use this fabric, but I don't know. I don't know about the paisley. That's not quite right. But so brown in general is associated with Ondagda. Another color is red, but that has more to do with Irish paganism in general, because red is kind of the color of the gods in Irish paganism, Irish mythology. So pretty much all of the gods are kind of associated with red. And we often think of Unmorrigan being associated with that red color, but it's honestly, red is associated with kind of all the gods. And that's no exception for Ondagda, so red is here as well. Now, as you see, I have personally associated blue with Ondagda, and this is because in my own visions or experiences with Ondagda, he has shown up to me in sort of a bluish outfit or cloak, or some sort of blueness to his outfit. And so I have associated blue with Ondagda. Now, in the lore, I think he's often associated with like a gray color. So it's perhaps more of a gray that I was seeing. I don't know. It came to me as a bit more blue. So I do associate blue with Ondagda. And it may be more of like a slate blue, like a stone blue. But I really like blue stones for Ondagda. There's a candle holder I want to get that's actually made out of blue calcite. I don't often buy stones, but every once in a while I might pick one up. I usually just accept whatever stones come in like subscription boxes or whatever. But on a rare occasion, I might actually buy stones. These probably came in a subscription box, but there's a blue calcite candle holder that I might actually be interested in getting, and I would definitely put that on his altar. So that is a personal association. Is that blue or maybe blue gray? But yes, brown and red definitely. Blue maybe, but it's more my personal practice is blue, and then gray, of course. All right. So now we're at some elemental associations now. How do I put this? Like the elements, like the 4/5 elements that we think of, earth, air, fire, water, plus spirit there, or ether. That is not necessarily part of Irish mythology. But, most of the gods in Irish mythology are associated with fire in general. Like the 4 holidays are fire festivals. Fire is something that's very, very much prominent in Irish mythology. So, and that's, no. No exception with Dagda. So there's no exception with Dagda there. He's also kind of associated with fire. Now, I in my own personal practice, I've been kind of connecting my 4 main Irish deities with the 4 classical elements there. But I do want to specify that this is just a personal practice thing, and it is not part of Irish mythology. It is kind of a little bit of maybe an experiment for me, but I'm just kind of seeing where I go with this. And I may scrap it altogether in the future, but in the lore, he would also be kind of associated with earth in general. And I think we see that a lot with the Browns. We see the earth with the association with the Browns, and his association with abundance. And so that's where we're seeing a little bit of that earth energy as well. Now, in my experimentations here, I am, as of right now, associating him with water, and I guess I will explain that a little later. But and that is a personal thing, and not part of the lore. I think fire and earth would be the most appropriate associations with Dagda there. Now, as far as animals go, there's really only one animal that he is definitely associated with, and that is cows. So, and cows in general are very sacred in Irish mythology, Irish paganism. We see cows associated with many different deities. I think Unmorrigan has, or is it Unmorrigan or Breege? I'll put a correction on the screen when I edit, but because white and red are very much colors in Irish paganism, Irish mythology. But yeah, so cows in general are very much and positively associated with Dagda. However, he's kind of associated with large animals in general. So I definitely see bears and let's say whales. Whales are a big one too, especially like humpback whales. I really see these animals being associated with Dagda. So I'll bring out one of the decks that I kind of had to the side here for Dagda, and this is the Druid Animal Oracle deck. And Dagda is also associated with magical power and druidry in general. Now, these decks, it's the Druid Animal, the Druid Plant, and the Druid Craft Tarot. These are druidic in general and like general Celtic. However, especially the tarot one, which I'll pull out right now, the tarot one right here is more connected with like Welsh druidry, I believe, because there's at least one card in here that is very explicitly Welsh. But We'll just look at the druid animal right now. Yeah, so we have, the cow here. I would really associate the cow with Ondagda. And that is the one animal he is undoubtedly associated with in the lore. I didn't separate this. I just searched for the cow. But yeah, the water dragon. I mean, this is more, not quite animals. Of course, there's a dog here. Let me see. A raven or a crow I would associate with on Morgan. But let me see if I can find, is there a bear in here? Oh, the salmon is very much associated with Irish paganism. Let's see. Oh, there's another dragon. The bee. I would personally associate the bee with Breege. But is there a bear in here? I'm not sure if there is one. Here it is. Okay, I was looking for the bear. All right, so these two cards in this particular deck, I would mostly associate with Ondagda. So that cow and that bear energy. And as you can see, I have this Totoro thing here. Because Totoro makes me think of Ondagda, So it's that sort of energy. Now, here is the Druid Plant Oracle. He is also very connected with herbalism in general, and we feel that earth energy here. And there aren't very many specific plants or herbs that he's associated with. Oak is one of them, and this is why I often keep this oak wand on his altar, but it kind of alternates between his altar and Bridget's altar. Yeah, so he's kind of associated with herbs in general. And this was a blank card, sorry. Yeah, so he's kind of associated with herbs in general. There's been, I have some of the blank cards still in here. But he's also kind of associated with frankincense and myrrh, though that is a modern connection. It's not necessarily in lore. It's something that more modern day peoples have connected to Ondagda. There we go. Let's see. I think of the berries and stuff more as Lou. I connect the berries with Lou, but that's just a personal thing. Yeah, so another blank card. Man, I left all these blank cards in here. Nettle and Ivy. And this is a great deck, too. I really do enjoy the plant and animal oracles with my Irish deities in general. But they're just, I just like how simple they are and very beautiful artwork. All right. And as mentioned, one of the main decks that I have here that I used to strongly associate with Ondagda, though less so now, but I still sometimes use this deck for Ondagda, and that is the Druid Craft Tarot here. Now, as I mentioned, this one is, it's kind of general Celtic, and I used to really, really love this deck and use it just all the time in my early days of, I don't know what to say, probably 15 years ago. I used to use this deck a lot. And I've kind of not been as connected with it in later years. And I used to strongly associate this deck with Ondagda, and I still kind of feel it. I could also see connecting this deck with Lou, and my personal copy here is it's an older version, and I trimmed off the sides, but it wasn't like machine cut. I sliced the sides, I sliced off the borders, but I didn't measure, so I can't quite riffle shuffle as as cleanly as a machine cut deck, but I still really like the job that I did. It's not too bad, actually. Yeah, this card really makes me think of Bridget. Let's see, focus here. Yeah, it kind of does. But anyway, Yeah, the problem though is like, and we see that here with it, this is the temperance card, but we see the word on here is a Welsh word and mixed with English here. And that's kind of thing that kind of bugs me a little bit. Like, just pick a language, please. Yeah, so Ferilt is a Welsh word. It's so this druid deck is really supposed to be indicating like Welsh druidry, and that's kind of the other reason why I've sort of, and then this is also from that location. Oh, I'm not going to put this next card on there because there are nudity. Okay, this one. But yeah, and that's kind of why I've sort of separated this a little bit from associating it with my Irish deities, just because it is much more Welsh than it is Irish. All right. That said, this is the deck that I usually just keep on his altar for the time being. So another deck that I frequently use or connect with on Dagda is this. It's this deck here, which is the oh my gosh, the name just escaped me. Forest of Enchantment Tarot. Yeah, so this is a very earthy deck, and as I said, I've been kind of doing a thing where I am connecting water with on Dagda, kind of just as a little, I don't know if experiment is the right word, but just sort of, I don't know what I'm trying to say. A practice that I'm trying to experiment with. But anyway, but this deck I do, even though it's very earthy, I very much associate this one with Ondagda. Now I'm going to flip through these cards as they sort of talk about Ondagda's family. So, ooh, and we have Ogham here, and this is actually appropriate because one of Ondagda's brothers, I believe, is Ogham, the who created the Ogham. All right. So Ondagda has had many children, and he also has had at least 3 lovers, one of which is his wife, of course, on Morgan. Yeah, and he has at least 5 brothers. So his father was Elaha or Elera, and I'll probably put the spelling of that on the screen here. I love this card for this one. Also kind of makes me think of Ondagda. It's cards like this in this deck. This one and the Ogham here, and I believe it's like one of the court cards has a character in here that really makes me think of Ondagda. So there we go. Yes. So his sons include Angus, Makog, Makinog. And that's one of the gods that I often call to or revere. And so his son Angus, and he also had a son Kermit, and then a son A or E, Midder, and Bove Jared. Oh, here it is. This is it. So Keeper of Boons. I believe this is the King of Pentacles, King of Coins. This card I really associate with Ondagda, and so this was very earthy, and that's why kind of associating the Irish gods with the 4 classical elements is not something that really works. Again, this is just something I'm sort of experimenting with, and yeah, and in a way, they're all connected to every element. but yeah, but Earth is a big one for Ondagda, and I really like that card for him. So, his daughters, we have Adair, I think there's Inga, I believe, is one of them. And, of course, what everyone knows is Bridge, or Bridget. Bridget is the daughter of Ondagda. All right. There we go. And there are other figures in Irish mythology that are said at various points in certain lore to be his children. But yeah, and he is married, of course, to on Morgan, and one of his known lovers is the goddess Boine or Boyne. And then he is also one of his other lovers was a Fomorian princess. So there we go. So I really like this deck for Ondagda. It's definitely one of the more earthy ones. But yeah, but even this one has more of a bluish hue to it. It's very earthy, but it's kind of like it's kind of got that bluish hue. So it's not too terribly earthy. It's kind of just, yeah, and this one too. There we go. And look at these. Beautiful. I do like this deck for Ondagda. So now let's kind of go through the Capybara Tarot, just for fun. It's not necessarily a deck I've used for Ondagda, but it could be a fun one to look through. It's kind of got that little bit of bear quality. Capybaras kind of have that bear quality to them. And animals in general are associated with Ondagda. I mean, this box was a little tight. Like I said, cows are probably more the most... what's the word I'm looking for? Absolute connection with Ondagda is cows. But like I said, I also connect large animals in general, especially like bears. And we've got this fun capybara deck here. That's kind of fun. And I can see some Dagda energy in with this. It might be fun to use this deck with Ondagda sometimes. And I also kind of, as a personal sort of thing, it's funny, I connect a lot of more, I don't know if this is the right phrase here, but I guess more stereotypically feminine things, even though, there's a sensitivity, I think, that I associate with Ondagda. And that's why I also like him very much for the Cups suit, and why I'm sort of experimenting a little bit with associating him with water for a while. But there is I don't know if sensitivity is the right term or something like that, but I do connect a lot of like florals and what some people might say are feminine attributes, or nurturing, I really see that connected with Ondagda here. So yeah. So Ondagda is he is an abundance deity. I mean, Irish deities, they're not like they're not really god of this, god of that. That's not really something that's prevalent in Irish mythology. It's you see that a lot with other types of mythology from other parts of the world, but in Irish mythology, you don't really have god of this, god of that. But because of Ondagda's great size, the all of her, abundance is something that's very much associated with him. And so like if you are going to form a relationship with Ondagda and ask for his aid in magic, magic pertaining to abundance would be great to ask from Ondagda. But there we go. So, of the four treasures, the four jewels of Ireland in myth, Ondagda has the cauldron, and we see that here with my little Dagda cauldron here, and even my little incense holder here is also a cauldron. And I decided not to light this because I don't want to get this on my on this fabric and the cards here. So it's now just here for looks, but I did pull this out, this incense, in case I wanted to light it during this video, but I've decided not to, so that's okay. I also have not lit the candle. I think I'm going to light the candle a little later, but yeah, and I will probably give him some whiskey. Because I don't think I'm going to have a beer. I had a beer last night, and I don't want to have another beer, so I'll pour him a little bit of whiskey. But yeah, anyway. So of the jewels, Ondagda is in possession of the cauldron. The other jewels or treasures of Ireland is the sword, which is possessed by Nuada, and then the spear, which is possessed by Lou. And the other treasure of Ireland is the Leafall, and that is a stone, and is the stone of Ireland, and that doesn't belong to any person in particular, any deity in particular. It belongs to Ireland as a whole, so it belongs to the land, basically. So those are the four treasures of Ireland. Now, we're also going to flip through the Gentle Tarot because I think this is a great Dagda deck. It's very gentle, very kind, and it's definitely got that brown energy. And I feel like it's kind of connected to all of the elements too. And it's also kind of got that floral energy too that feels, like I said, very undagda to me. All right, so I'm going to lay these down. Well, I continue to talk. So, as I said, I do see Ondagda as a kind of a gentle giant, a gentle energy, and other people may have a different experience or connection with him, and you know. I don't really see him as like a father. It's different people will say like, oh, this deity or that deity is my mother, is my father, this is a mother goddess, this is a father god, etc. And again, that's not necessarily something that's really part of Irish mythology, Irish paganism in general. But because I've seen people say that An Morrigan is my mother, interesting, and Breege is a mother goddess. That one makes maybe a little bit more sense, but like still, not quite. But if I were to give a sort of parental feeling or a parental role, I guess, to any of the Irish deities, for me personally, I would say that Ondagda is the most, for me personally, the most parental. So the most fatherly. And, and part of that also could be attributed to his association or his lore having to do with being a grieving parent. And so this is a little bit of a sad topic here. But, one of his sons, Kermit, died. And there's a very sad tale of him carrying his son Kermit and doing all these rites and rituals and using various herbs and resins, etc., trying to desperately revive his son. And it's a very touching, sad tale. And because of that, he is often seen as the god to go to during times of grief, especially during grief pertaining to children or grief pertaining to your own children, etc. So yeah, very tough energy there, and it also sort of adds to that feeling of gentleness that I sort of get from Ondagda. There's definitely a strong determination, definitely a strong leadership vibe for sure, but there's also just this very deep gentle aspect to this particular god. And so there we go. Now, the next deck I'm pulling out is the Oceanum Arcanae, and this is in relation to my attempts right now to experiment with his association with water, or maybe experiment is not the right word. Explore his relationship with water. So I have the Oceanum Arcanae here, and this is an ocean themed deck, and there are like large creatures in this deck. Oh, like here we have a shark here, kind of ferocious, and dolphins and whales. Whales I really associate with Ondagda. And this isn't a clean connection here, but the large animals, the wateriness, the emotional aspect of water is really what am sort of leaning into with my own personal association with Dagda with water. I love the octopus here. An octopus I could see associate with Ondagda, especially when I'm thinking about how he's the good god in the sense that he's good at everything. I love that. Yeah, and I could see that connection here. Yeah, so he's so as far as the Sabbats go, or the fire festivals rather, in the lore, he's probably most associated with Samhain, along with his wife on Morrigan. And that is definitely a connection. That said, a lot of people, myself included, have had personal gnosis or of some kind of his association with Bealtaine. And because of that, I associate on Morrigan with Samhain, and I associate on Dagda with Bealtaine. But in the lore, he is mostly associated with Samhain. So there we go. And all the blues in here too, I also really like for Ondagda. As I said, he does often appear to me in blue attire, or a blue cloak, or a lot of blue. And as mentioned, since he is also associated with gray, it's perhaps more of a steel blue, or a gray blue, as opposed to this bright royal blue. But yeah, that's kind of how, and royal blue. The blue color is also sort of associated with that, and Ondagda is often associated with royalty in general. And speaking of his kind of associations with that sort of thing, he's a god of he's a god pertaining to abundance and wisdom, and also true leadership, and true rule. I think is what I was trying to say. True rule. And so he is associated with those sorts of elements, and he is a natural leader. He is, if you are looking for a leadership energy, Ondagda is definitely where you want to look. Yeah. So that is the Oceanum Arcana here. So staying with the blue theme, I thought I would pull out, I have not used this one with Ondagda yet, but I thought I could give this one a shot. And this is the Endless Oracle by Eric Mail. I'm still not sure how to say Eric's last name, but this is a kind of a blue or even a steel sort of blue, gray blue sort of deck, and I thought we could give this a little bit of a shot. And I do like it with this brown background, and the blue and the brown to me feels very Ondagda. Yeah, so as far as resources for Ondagda, so I highly recommend anything by Morgan Daimler and Laura O'Brien, and the other people at the Irish Pagan School, and I really recommend the Irish Pagan School in general. So I do have the Dagda by Morgan Daimler. It's been many years since I read that, so I should probably reread that. Yeah, so that one's fantastic. I definitely recommend it. It's a nice short book, too. It's from the Pagan Portals collection. So that's a great, introduction to Ondagda. And then Laura O'Brien also has Harp, Club, and Cauldron. Yes, I was trying to remember off the top of my head. Harp, Club, and Cauldron. And those are, of course, all the three tools associated with Ondagda. So I really recommend that book. I also recommend Tales of a Dagda Bard by John O'Sullivan. And I think there's 2 volumes of that. I might be wrong. And I will be putting those up on the screen, hopefully. Reminder to myself in editing, put those images up on the screen. And then there's other books that general Irish paganism books that I sort of recommend. The Immortals is a good one. I cannot remember the name of the author off the top of my head, but I'll put that one up on the screen. That one's The Irish Immortals. I think that's what it's called, or something like that. But yeah, so there are a few other just general Irish paganism books that I recommend. And also, as mentioned, I really recommend going through the Irish Pagan School, giving them your time and attention, and maybe some compensation for their hard work and dedication to the community, and ensuring that these practices and beliefs and stories and lore don't get lost through time and through colonization and all of that. So yeah, I think this could be a pretty good deck for on Dagda. So all right, let's move on to the next one. I thought we might look at a couple bear decks because I do have an association with bears with Dagda, and like I said, it's more large animals in general. But this is the Luna's Bear edition of the Beginner's Tarot. It's a very weird title of this deck. It's one of my Japanese decks, actually, and it's from the Luna Factory, and it's a beginner tarot, but it's all teddy bear themed, and then it's got the interpretations in Japanese at the top and the bottom. Yeah, so that's why it's a beginner's tarot, and I am really I think I'll just show them up like this and then lay them down instead of having to zoom in. We'll just do that. Yeah, so I thought this might be a fun pairing, but fun experimentation to use with Dagda here, just because I do kind of associate bears with Dagda, and this might be kind of fun to pull out every once in a while for a reading with him. And like I said, it's also very gentle, and as mentioned, I sort of have the way that Dagda has shown up for me. I don't want to equate him with a father type thing, but he has kind of had that sort of representation or come to me in that sort of way. So I'm not at all saying he's he's my father god or anything like that. I'm just saying that he tends to come to me in a more fatherly sort of way, and in a life lesson sort of, it's very gentle, but firm, Of the four main Irish deities that I follow, I honor all of them in some way, in one way or another, but there are four main Irish deities that I tend to connect with the most, and that is Dagda, Morrigan, Breege, and Lugh. But Dagda is the most gentle out of all of them. So this is kind of this is a little bit more gentle than he comes to me as. This is a bit more, cuddly. That's not quite, but then again, I do also, but thinking of Totoro, and, he is soft and squishy, and when we think of the image of the little girl on his belly and stuff, but at the same time he's like kind of ferocious sometimes, and yeah, so I kind of see that with Dagda too. So that is the Luna's Bear tarot here. I think that's just what I'm going to call it, the Luna's Bear tarot. And then we have, this is a deck of playing cards, and this is a deck that I got at a what's it called, like a trading post. It's not a special deck or anything. It was a deck of playing cards, and it was bear themed. And I got this in Maine. And I really like this. And, if I used playing cards with Dagda, I would probably pull out this deck. So I really like this. So this deck all of the numbers are the same image. So all of the nines are the same image. All of the kings look like this. All of the tens look like this, etc. Which is not something that bothers me at all. It's just a simple playing card deck, and I really like using this deck for Magic and for readings, etc. So I thought this was kind of a fun addition to these decks for on Dagda. All right. Now, I did also pull out the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle, the Seance Edition, because of the blue. Oh, sorry about the dog. But because of all the blue, And again, this is not something I have used with Dagda yet, but I thought it might be fun to try this out sometime. See how I like it. We'll do a few readings with Dagda and see how it works for me. There's a spider. Sorry, guys. Diamond is pretty cool. There are one or two cards. Oh, it's the harp card I think I've attached to Dagda in this deck, which makes sense, of course. Perhaps a cauldron. I think there's a cauldron card too, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so this might be a fun little experiment and seeing how this one works for him. Okay, so that is everything that I currently have for on Dagda. I will be making some sort of altar cloth, special mat of sorts for on Dagda. Hopefully this was helpful. I did a sort of combination of the established lore with my own practice and some of my experimentations and things like that. So hopefully we can understand the difference between my UPG, my unverified personal gnosis, and my unverified, experimentations and practice with established lore and what is actually part of Irish paganism. So thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye!